YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you are new to the channel, I want to thank you guys for tapping in and watching this video and showing support on the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to drop a comment, leave a like, and also subscribe to the channel. We want you to be around for the long haul as we go through this whole YouTube journey and things of that nature. But like I said, thank you guys for tapping in. All my returning viewers, appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with your boy on this YouTube thing. And I always gotta say every video, so hats off to you guys for supporting me a long way. But I ain't gonna hold you too long. Let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So we're getting some mods done to the car. There's some mods, a couple things already done to the car already. I did off camera. We'll go over them really quick once I get the car moved over, because I like to have a lot of space when I do some stuff to the car. But like I said, I just had this car for maybe like a month, and of course there's some things that are done to the car. If you've been watching my channel, I had a Dodge Challenger RT beforehand. I took some mods off of that. So we're going to be installing a couple things on this video here today. But first and foremost, I can't shortchange you guys. I go and give you the cold start. Granted that the car is completely stock exhaust, I can't deny y'all the fact of getting that cold start on the car. So let's get y'all to do that right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and get the car moved out, move it over, so that way we have some room to do some work. All right, now before we get into today's video and the mods are going to be installing today, yes, I said mods are going to be installing more than one thing on today's video. I want to get in, let's talk about what I've already done to the car here. So first and foremost, this is pretty much mandatory with any new car. I do have the windows tinted, and I do a quick walk around. You can see I did 15% on the sides here, 15% on the back. We're going to the side, 15% on the sides here, and we got a little slight 45% on the front here. So that's how the car looks. Definitely needed that. I was tired of the fish bowling, so that was mandatory to get done. Another thing we've done, I've also installed my lane hogs banner, which, if you know, on my black car, I had the satin black with the red letters. This time I decided to do it a little bit differently. I went with a more stealthier look I did satin black with the gloss black. So you can barely see it, but you see it just enough when it's time to see it. So if it's in the sun, you can kind of see it a little bit, but it doesn't stand out too much. Like I said, I'm trying to go as clean as possible with this car. Of course, another thing I've done to the car, I had to make sure I add my YouTube channel. This is the perk of having a shorter name. I'm able to put my whole YouTube name here or there. It's big enough where you can see it, but small enough to fit in this side window, which is exactly where I want it. So even if I have my back windows down, you can still see my YouTube name here. So I definitely want to do that because I do get a lot of looks with the car. And that's pretty much all we've done so far. So, some people consider 10 a mod, some people don't. But to me, definitely mandatory. It definitely sets the look of the car off. And you guys want to see the inside. So let's get on the inside real quick so you can see how it looks with the 15% tint. So we hop on. So we hop in. So you can see here, 15% all the way around. Except for the front is 45 here. So if you want to get a comparison, I'm open the sunroof. So you see that is the windshield, that is the sunroof, which is kind of, you can see a little slight difference here. But if you want a true difference of what it looks like, that will probably give you the best difference there. Personally, I think it is pretty good. Visibility is no issue at all. A lot of people, if you get in the car, you couldn't really tell if it's there. I mean, on the inside, this looks the same, but it's not. The side is definitely darker than the front. But if you, like I say, you want a comparison of the side in regular light, you see there, comparison of the front. So you can see all three right there. So the reason I decided to do the front this time, on my Challenger, I had 20%, and the 20%, you really can see really through. I have some pictures, if I still got them, I should have still got them, where it looked like I didn't have any tint at all because all that light came through and whatnot. I did want it darker than before, but if I need more light inside the car, we just pop over the sunroof and we're good. So that's what I did. Love the look of it. Hop back out. Yeah, love the look of it. Makes it look so much cleaner. with that. But that's enough about what we already did. Like, I didn't want to do a video on the tent. I'll put my guy who did my tent here. I put him at the bottom of the screen here. My guy Ty sped off. He did it. Who's part of Lane Hogs as well. He did the tent on my car. So shout out to him for getting it taken care of. But like I said, enough about what I've already done. Let's go ahead and get into the new mods. Well, some of it's new, some of it's not, but let's go and get into the mods we're doing today. All right, so on today's video, first mod that we are going to be installing, let's go to here. This is my oil catch can. Now, it looks a little different from before. So if you watched my previous video where I took off some of my parts, this was pretty much all silver. You can see here, right there where the fittings are. This was all silver before, but I did go and get this powder coated red. I'm gonna show you it in the sun. So here it is in the sun. It was powder coated red. I did not pay much to get this done. I probably had 30 bucks to get this thing powder coated. Went to a local shop here. They got me squared away within like a day. But dropped it off one day, came back and picked it up the next day. And I said it's pretty close. I mean, the color on my charge is pretty much just gloss red anyway. So I just told them to do a regular red. So we're gonna be installing this first, but that's not all with this. So if you watch the channel with me take that off, then you know, let me walk over here to where my mods are. My box of mods, you know that we had these hoses on there first, right? We had these rubber hoses on there. I didn't get the braided ones until now. So what we decided to do, like I said, we're gonna go cleaner. So I decided to go with Speed Logic again. I have the braided hoses with the red fittings on it. Like I said, I want to make it look much cleaner, and these hoses are the correct length for this particular car. So I have the 2 hoses that I need, and we're gonna be installing this today. So let's go ahead and pop the hood. Let's get this squared away. All right, so we're gonna go under the hood here. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna mount this. It's gonna pretty much mount the same way it was on my Challenger. So we see here is pretty much this thing right here where this cable is plugged into. That has a spot where I can actually get the bolt screwed into. So it's gonna mount right here. Of course, my hose is gonna go here and here. And these hoses, like I said, are braided hoses that are cut to the exact length that I need. So I won't have to sit there and adjust that at all. So you can see engine bay still relatively clean. Which is good, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but we're happy with that. So let's go ahead. I gotta get this out somehow. All right, just so if in case you never installed a catch can on the 6.4, I haven't installed a catch can on the 6.4 either, but it's pretty much gonna be the same as the 5.7 as well. That's just bolt, well, not really a bolt, it's like a clamp right here, or a fastener to hold this wire, which this thing pretty much, it just pulls out, and this thing is actually threaded, so you can actually take a bolt and screw into there, and that will hold your catch can in. So make sure if you do get a catch can, make sure you get the bracket with it to make it easier for you to be able to remove the catch can and dump your oil and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get to that part. Make sure you get all my tools together. All right, got the easy part done. We got the catch can mounted with the bolt that I had before. Now the next part you want to do, you take this part off and this part off, with my engine being relatively new. That pretty much just slides right off. So not going to throw that away. We're going to keep that in case we need it. Of course, it wouldn't be me if an easy install didn't get more difficult. So you see, first hose went in just fine. Now this hose is too short. Now, so I put this on here, right? That goes on, and I go here. That's too big of a gap. That's a pretty large gap. So I went back, grab this part off the other part, put that back on, and then I slide this on, and now those don't fit. Like, that is too big for those to go together. So I need to either figure out how to get these to go into each other or something else, because this clearly does not fit and it's not long enough. All right, guys, so we had to make a quick run to the store to get this to fit. So what we end up doing is we're gonna keep this part on here, this little rubber part, we're gonna keep this part on here. But what I'm going to do is use some of these fittings right here to help connect this hose into that hose. So this should work. I already checked the size for up the store. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't take a easy install and make it complicated. Always happens, but we're gonna get this squared away really fast now. Well, guys, I was thinking that will work as well, but when I tried to use the fitting there, it didn't feel secure in this point right here. So I went ahead and reached out to Speed Logic on that, because that should definitely fit, or the hose should be long enough to go in there. So I'm gonna see if there's something missing or whatnot, but I didn't feel comfortable putting the hose on there and this hose not being secure. So I went back and put the factory hose back in there, and I'm just gonna leave the catch can in here because it's not causing any harm with it just sitting there, even though it's not connected to anything. So I'm gonna leave that in for now. So let's get this one. Let's go ahead to the mod that we're actually gonna get done today. So, and before I go into the next mod here, if anything I did wrong with those braided hoses for my catch can, let me know. I felt like it was pretty straightforward, but for some reason, nothing fit no matter what I use. So let me know in the comments if I did something wrong with that, man. Like I said, should have been straightforward, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get to the next mod that we're actually gonna get done. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox this mod right here. Here it is. We have a wicker bill from K&G Wraps. The crazy thing is I actually had this wicker bill longer than I had this car. So of course I'm going to do a wicker bill on the car. Now let me just explain the design that we got here. So this is one of, I think it's the V2 design here from K&G Wraps. So we don't have the fiberglass or the see-through part on this. So you can see it has these little bars or extensions here as well. Now, special thing about this is kind of a custom setup. This actual design is made for a Hellcat or Red Eye Charger, but they have one for the Scatpack that has this kind of same look to it, but it has the dip and kind of pointed a little bit. I didn't like that one design as much as I like this one, so I reached out to K&G Wraps and had them and asked them, could they do this design but have it fit a Scatpack? They said yes, and they make the adjustment so this will actually fit a Scatpack, even though this design is for the Red Eye or the Hellcat spoiler, because those spoilers have a different shape to them. So this is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to be installing. This is going to be another wicker bill. Well, it's going to be my third time actually installing a wicker bill on the car. I got a rib nut tool and all the type of rib gun, rib nut, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Tool to help get this put in. So let's go do this, because this should work right. This should be straightforward. We know how to do this. Let's make sure we don't go 0 for 2 with mods today. So let's go. All right, guys. So I know one question here people are going to ask, like, will these little things that stick down, will it hit the car? And actually, it shouldn't if we just install it right. It does have these little cushions on it right here, so that way, and in case for some reason it moves or touches the car, you have this soft piece right there that should prevent that from happening. So we're gonna go ahead and get this part installed. So what I'm gonna do first, actually, is just to make sure I can drill in there pretty cleanly. I'm gonna put some masking tape along the back of that and get my holes and stuff marked up. Now, you wanna make sure, of course, I'm not gonna go in a deep explanation on how to do a wicker bill, but I'll just go through some brief stuff, you know, to talk about it. But make sure you always drill perpendicular, go slow with it. And also another thing is I have no clue exactly what size drill bit I need for the holes. So I'm gonna start with a smaller one and work my way up, but that's gonna be after I get my holes marked up and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start small and work my way up from there. And of course, with having the camera, I can be able to line up my center hole there. So let me go and get the masking tape on. All right, so you see I put the tape on the back of the spoiler here, and I also got the middle one marked out. So like I said before, I wasn't exactly sure the size of the drill hole, so I'm gonna start small and then work my way up till I get the right size for it. So I'm gonna get this one installed, and then from there, I'm gonna do the rest of them here. So yes, I'm nervous about drilling into a brand new car, but if I mess this up, the next video is gonna be me buying a new spoiler for the car. So I'm not gonna put the part on camera, but go ahead and make the first hole here. All right, guys, so after trial and error, just to make sure we got the right size, so we end up getting a 13/32 bit to make the right drill hole here. So I drilled into it a couple times there. So now I got the right drill hole, right drill bit, so I know what size I'm gonna need. All right, well, also we wanna make sure we make this install as easy as possible. So we got this right here, because you got to get that one popped in there. So since we got this center one, I can't even talk, center one in, we're gonna use that one to get the rest of them marked. So I'm gonna put the spoiler back on to get the other holes marked, and we should be moving and grooving now. All right, guys, now we got the wicker bill on. You see all the aftermath and carnage of getting everything on. So I fast forward through all me just drilling holes and screwing screws on, so you can see the wicker bill is on. And I make sure, try to give as much clearance there as possible for the little support parts there. So for sure, you see it's all on how it looks there. I'll show you up on the back. I like the curve part of it. It just kind of keeps it real smooth and whatnot. Especially with the black there, it all kind of just ties together. So like we said, we got everything all tightened up and good to go here. So yeah, so I didn't get the catch can completely done. So like I said, I already reached out to Speed Logic to see about what should I have to make that fit. But we got this down, no problem. And I'll leave the link to the in the description below. So if you was looking for the wicker bill like this, then you know where to get it. But more or less look at it from the back here. If you got any questions I didn't cover in the video, please make sure to drop a comment below. We'll make sure to answer it. But as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.